Hello, and welcome to another grammar lesson. In today's lesson, we focus on gerund and infinitive. So, gerund and infinitive are two forms of verb. The first one, gerund, happens the time that we add ing to the verb, and infinitive is adding to the beginning of the verb. So, gerund, verb plus ing, and infinitive, to plus verb. But the question is, why do we need them? Well, the answer is sometimes you make a sentence and your sentence has more than or needs more than one verb. Then, therefore, you should use more than one verb in your sentence to transfer your meaning. But you cannot take a verb and put it into the sentence without considering the words before that or the meaning that that word convey or shows. That's why, according to the place or position that you bring the verb, sometimes you need to make some changes. If you add ing, you're making gerund, and if you add to the beginning of the verb, you're making infinitive with to. Now, infinitive means to plus verb, but in which circumstances we use infinitive? The first one, after specific group of verbs like want, like promise. If after these group of words you want to directly bring a verb, you should add infinitive. You should bring infinitive form of the verb. Like, I want to go to the cafe after the lesson. I want to go. Why to go? Because of want, because my verb appeared after want. Therefore, the only form that I can bring it is infinitive, means to plus verb. The other one, I promise to study more. I promise to study more. Again, infinitive because we bring our verb after promise. So these are solid verbs that we cannot play with them. Well, later on we will see some verbs that after them we can use both gerund and or infinitive depending on the meaning. But these group of words that we're talking about, let's say verbs that we're talking about, are the solid ones and we cannot change anything. After adjectives we should use infinitive. So necessarily verbs do not come after each other. Sometimes I bring a verb into the sentence and that verb appears after an adjective. When we have a verb after an adjective, it should appear in infinitive form. It is difficult to speak Chinese. Difficult is an adjective and my verb speak appears in infinitive form. The last one that we can or we should bring a verb into the sentence in infinitive form is the time that we're giving a reason. We're talking about the reason of doing something or taking an action. Like what? For example, I ask you, why do you come to class? And you say, well, I come to class to learn English. Why to learn? It's not after an adjective, it's not after want or promise. But learn here is talking about the reason of coming to English class. That's why it should appear in infinitive format. Infinitive with to. I come to class to learn English. So a quick revision. Sometimes there are a specific group of verbs like want, like promise, like many other ones that you can easily find it. I try to put the link of those words in the caption. After this group of verbs, you need to use to plus verb infinitive with to. After adjectives, if you want to use verb, it should take to infinitive. And sometimes when you're talking about the reason of doing something or taking an action, again, you need to bring the verb in infinitive format. Now let's go on with gerund, verb plus ing. Like the other side that we had a group of verbs like promise, like want, that you have to bring infinitive form of the verb. Here we have a specific group of verbs that belongs to gerund, like enjoy, like hate. After these verbs, if you want to bring another verb directly, then you should bring it with or in gerund form. I enjoy dancing. I hate lying. I enjoy playing the piano. After enjoy, we add ing to the next verb. Or I hate being late for my appointments. Next rule is after prepositions like at, for, in, about, and many other form of prepositions that we have in English. If you want to bring a verb after preposition, that verb should appear in gerund form. I'm good at speaking. She's worried about passing the driving test. So here, because of at, speaking, and about, passing. So after prepositions, the verb appears in gerund form. The last one, using as subject of a sentence. You know, normally we don't start a sentence by using a verb unless we want to give an order, like open the door, close the window. Sometimes it happens that our sentence doesn't have a subject and we need to make a subject. So we bring the verb, we add ing and we make a gerund, and then we continue the rest. Listening to music in the morning is wonderful. I don't say, hey, listen to music in the morning. But it is not an order, it is something very general. So I'm using my verb as a subject by adding ing. Listening to music in the morning is wonderful. Now, we want to talk about exceptions that after some group of verbs like remember, forget, try, and need, and some other ones, depending on the meaning, you can use both ing or to. The first one is remember and or forget. The rule and regulation for remember and forget is exactly the same. Now, in which circumstance or situations we use gerund? If the action happened in the past and you remember it or you forget it now, the verb appears in ing form. I repeat, if the action happened in the past and now you remember or you don't forget it, the verb appears in ing form. Look at this example. I remember meeting you for the first time. Maybe I met you 4 years ago. So the action of meeting happened or was in the past. And now I remember meeting you because the action was in the past, the action of meeting was in the past. After remember, we add ing. Or I never forget going to the concert together 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we went to a concert together. And I never forget it. The action of going to the concert was in the past. And that's why after forget, I use gerund form of the verb, which is going. But if you want to remember or don't forget to do an action after that, not before that, after that, the verb will take to. Remember to lock the door. You are going to remember to do something after, not before. That's why it takes to. Or don't forget to do your homework. So a quick revision. If the action was in the past and now you remember or forget, it gets ing. I remember meeting you for the first time. Why meeting? Because maybe we met 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Whatever it is, it was in the past. Or I never forget going to the concert together 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the action happened. And now I don't forget it. That's why the verb appears in ing form. Or quite the opposite. If I remember, or I should remember, to do something after that, then the verb appears by infinitive. Remember to lock the door, or don't forget to do your homework. Try. Normally, try means attempt or hard work, but sometimes try means test or experiment. I want to test something to see if it works or not. If try in your sentence means test or experiment, the verb after that gets ing. For example, you bring your laptop to the class and the laptop doesn't work. I say, try plugging in, maybe it works. I try plugging my laptop in to see if it works or not. I try means experiment here. I just tested to see plugging in can help my laptop work or not. But if try means attempt, hard work, then of course infinitive. I tried to call you, but I couldn't. I tried to call you, but I couldn't. I put a lot of effort to find you to call you, but I couldn't. Need normally comes with infinitive. I need to study harder. But when sometimes it represents something like passive, especially causative passive that we covered it in previous video, then it comes with gerund after that. My car needs washing. Who's going to wash it? We don't know. Just my car needs washing. So need fundamentally accepts infinitive after that. But if we're putting it in a passive form, then it comes with, let's say, gerund. And here, as a revision, we have a quick revision of passive, causative, passive. If you remember, I had my photo taken. I will have my hair cut. She had her car stolen, and he had his leg broken. The only difference is the last two ones, in spite of having the same structure, are considered as non-causative. Why? For instance, in this example, she had her car stolen. She's not the cause that her car is stolen, or he's not the cause that his leg is broken. The meaning is just clarifies which one is causative and which one is non-causative. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to practice, watch more and more, and see you in upcoming videos. Good luck.